What's going on, everybody? Martin Riggs here. Hope you're all doing well today. I wanted to make a quick video regarding the 15th season of Ranked and sort of give you a quick overview. We're not going to go into a ton of detail, but just a quick overview of what ships so far that I've had success with, what ships I think are good for Ranked in general, and what ships, you know, are kind of okay, and then also what ships are just not really worth playing. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into detail, really. I just want to give you a quick idea, quick few snippets of why I think some of these ships are good. First and foremost, I think the Thunderer is really solid. Because you have in Ranked with Arms Race this time around, you're going to get a lot of buffs that boost your reload time. They give you a slow heal over time, which I think aids the Thunder tremendously because it's not a particularly tanky ship, but its DPM is phenomenal. So having that little extra heal and then also being a stealthy ship allows it to disengage, utilize a bit of that healing, and then come back in and keep those guns in the battle as long as possible. So I think the Thunder is a great choice, a very top tier pick in my opinion for Ranked this season. Another really solid option I think is also the Montana. Montana has tremendous tank ability, which only gets better with the health buffs that I just mentioned. So also a really solid ship there. Good accurate guns. Alpha Strike is really a big thing in this Ranked season because of the, all the ships out there are going to be healing over time. And so ships that can hit people hard quickly, just like most battleships really, are very strong this Ranked season. I think it's a really nice departure from what Randoms has been over the last 6 to 8 months, maybe even a year now, where there's a lot of fire spam, a lot of HE damage over time kind of stuff. I feel like battleships have really sort of come back into their own here in Ranked. So really, I think any battleship is good, but the Montana and the Thunderer in particular are my particular favorites. Another good choice, my personal favorite, the Des Moines. This is just my favorite ship in the game, but I love the way that it can control an area. You can get in pretty close. You can use islands for cover, get that radar going. It's especially good late game if you end up in a ranked battle where the capture circle is important at the end. The Des Moines is really, really strong in that situation because stuff has to be in that capture circle. And that's where the Des Moines can really shine. When you're forced to be in the same area as a Des Moines, I think Des Moines has the advantage there. Also, the Shimakaze, I think, is really strong. I've actually been using the 8-kilometer Shimakaze torps because what I'm really looking for is trying to provide spotting and keeping the destroyers away from the buffs. So I'm pretty much playing the buffs when I'm playing the Shima here. And then if I do get a chance to execute a torpedo strike, I will of course do that, but for the most part I'm sort of playing area denial and spotting, and it's worked pretty well so far. I feel like I've had a lot of wins in the Shimakaze so far. I've been really happy with it, and I'm not doing a ton of damage in it, but yet still having a lot of success in some of those team play aspects. I found that's actually been very effective. Another good choice I also think is the Stalingrad. It's just a very tanky ship, obviously, in general. The health buff only makes that better. But the ability to radar, especially late game, with the cap circle, same as the Des Moines, is quite strong. And then just your ability to do damage over distances. You can kind of duke it out with battleships. I think it's a very strong ship. Now, obviously, a lot of people don't have the Stalingrad, so that might not be an option for you. But there are a lot of really good options that are readily available. As for mid-tier, in terms of ships that are, pretty good, but not necessarily great, I would say the Kleber fits in that category. This is a really good ship for kind of speeding around and trying to grab some of those buffs. But in general, I feel like it's a ship that does damage over time, with the exception of assassinating destroyers with its main battery reload. I do feel like it's a ship that kind of wears down battleships, and it takes a little bit of time, and that's just not nearly as viable with all the heals that are available to battleships. So I think it does lose a little bit of its effectiveness there. Still a strong ship though. I don't think you'd be at a disadvantage playing the Kleber. It's just not that like A tier, if you will. Also, this is kind of like a B plus ship. I think the daring is actually really strong. The downside is it gets outspotted by the Shimakaze. But it is a very strong ship. I've enjoyed playing it in ranked so far. It's just there's just something about it that just doesn't quite work well enough. I think it might be the torpedo range or something like that, where I just feel like I'm just not able to make it work. But give it a try. I mean, it's a great ship, so I think you'll be satisfied with it. If that's what you have at tier 10, I think you'll be able to have a lot of success. Minotaur is definitely kind of one of those ships. It's sort of like the Smolensk in this ranked season. I just don't think it's that great. Stuff hiding in smoke isn't as viable because there's no objectives to kind of camp near for the first half the game or so. So really, you're at the mercy of your team, and I don't like ever having to be at the mercy of my team when playing in ranked. So I like to be able to control my destiny a bit more, and I think the Minotaur misses out a little bit there. It is a great ship, though. A lot of potential, obviously. If you get some good spotting, just like the Smolensk or anything that likes to hide in smoke, it will be really successful, but it just depends on whether or not that situation is going to occur. A couple other sort of mid-tier picks here. The Zhao. I'm a big fan of the Zhao, but for a ship that relies so much on fire damage, it just doesn't burn people down quickly enough unless you're focus firing with your teammates, which I think is an important thing in this ranked season in general. If you can see your teammates focusing on one particular target, go ahead and focus with them, because you got to get ships knocked out because they're all going to be healing. But if you're kind of like one-on-one with something, I think the Zhao does kind of struggle a little bit. Another one is the Harugamo. Just its poor spotting, it's kind of clunky, fairly easily detected. I think puts it at a disadvantage. It does obviously have really good DPM, and the torpedoes are nice, but it just feels like you're sort of at a disadvantage against other DDs, in my opinion. So I've kind of put that in the sort of like the B tier. And unfortunately, the bottom tier, if you will, honestly, is CVs, I think, in this particular ranked season. The Haku is the best by far, because the AP bombs do a lot of damage with the... so you have good alpha strike there with the AP bombs. Now, that being said, it still takes a while to kill stuff. Even if you get a triple citadel on your dive bombs, it still takes a while to kill things. So if you can finish off targets in the Haku, that's a good thing, but I've really struggled to get wins in any carrier, and the Haku has probably been my most successful. And even then, I feel like it's been kind of a frustrating experience, because you are dependent on your team so much so. They need to do a lot of things to allow you to sort of be successful. They have to get ships, worn down low enough in their hit points that you can actually go in for an attack. And then also the midway is okay. I don't have the midway. I just imagine it being okay, because you do rely, again, on anything that relies on fire is not that great. And the audacious, I've tried this a few times. It is just awful. I just don't think it works, unfortunately. It's not a great carrier in general, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of the audacious. But in this ranked season, it just feels quite powerless, because you need those fires. And if RNG isn't on your side for a few minutes, it can be too late to recover from that in the battle. If you aren't able to get those fires going, aren't able to get floats going, DDs are hiding in smoke or whatever it may be, you just lack the ability to really have any kind of punching power. So that is sort of my breakdown in terms of the ships for ranked. I think this ranked season has been really fun. Let me know what you think in the comments so far. We're about time of recording here. We're like 5 days into ranked. It's been a really fun experience so far, and it's been a long time since I could say that about anything, it's not a ranked sprint. I think sprints are great, but ranked in general has been kind of a grind, and I actually really have enjoyed this one so far. So hopefully that'll continue. And I hope you find this video somewhat helpful. Also, I'll leave our in a link in the description below if you want to check out our Twitch channel as well. I stream World of Warships almost every day. So thank you so much for watching. Hope this was helpful, and I'll catch y'all later.